Hello, everyone, and welcome to Meditate with Tammy. Thank you for joining me. And today we are going to practice on giving ourselves forgiveness for how we parented in the past, if you've had children, how you parented, and how you parent yourself, how you take care of yourself. So if you don't have children, you can still do this practice because there's a lot of self-parenting ways we can heal ourselves and forgive ourselves how we took care of ourselves in the past if we weren't really connected and really didn't take our bodies and nurtured them and made them feel safe and really connected. So I find with my experience and my parenting past, I didn't start learning about emotional intelligence or brain development and really connected, uh, just honest and truthful relationships and how I talk to myself in my head. I had a lot of anxiety and depression as a mother when I had the babies in my belly, all the way through raising them. And I really didn't realize that I was in pain or kind of parenting disconnected until after I parented, until my kiddos were late teens, early 20s. And there's lots of stuff I have to work through for that and forgive myself for it, especially as I'm researching and reading. I'm like, oh my, what did I do to them? And on the flip side, how I took care of myself internally was much harsher on how I relationshiped. And so I learned how to really take care of myself and regulate my nervous system and regulate my trauma activations and really go deep inside and forgive myself how I used to take care of myself. I used to kind of numb out and not want to deal with this and just be happy and don't worry about it. So this practice is just really for you getting comfortable in your body as you feel those emotions and you release these emotions. And at the end of the meditation, we're going to give ourselves an intention of what we want to feel today. So this is trauma-informed meditation, and that is really for you to take care of yourself. Trauma-informed is you come first. You really listen to your body. If something doesn't make you feel good, you don't have to do it. If you don't want to visualize, you could just listen along with me. If you don't want to close your eyes, you could just listen along. If you don't like this meditation, you could turn me off. It's really for you to get connected with you. And this is your practice. I'm just guiding. This is all about you. So we're going to get rolling on this and um, just get comfortable with where you are. And you could be sitting in a chair and you could be lying down wherever you are. Maybe you're indoors or outdoors. And just put your attention on your body. I just notice your body for where you are today. And no judgment on how you're feeling. If you're uplifted or if you're low, that's just what your body is feeling. You don't have to judge yourself on that. And so I invite you to close your eyes or find a soft gaze, stare at something neutral that will help you kind of zone into this meditation practice. And then let's take in 3 breaths, really nice deep breaths. So inhale and really breathe down in your lungs, really fill up those beautiful lungs with oxygen. And then breathe out your mouth. You can let out a nice sigh. And breathe in and expand that chest. And if you want, you can put your hand on your heart and a hand on your belly if you want. Find some comfort there. And take a cleansing sigh out and make some noise if you need to. Just release any tension you're feeling right now. And take in another breath. And a cleansing sigh out. Letting go of any thoughts that are happening in your day today. We're just going to take a break from them. They'll be there when you get back. And if they pop in your mind as you're doing this meditation, you could just remind your body and mind that we could take a break from these and just let them float off. Let those thoughts float off. Amazing. I just noticed that short shift from taking the deep breaths from when you first started. Just a little bit more relaxation in the body. And I'm going to invite you to visualize now, almost like daydreaming, right up in your forehead is where we can see those pictures and or like memories or like anything you're thinking of comes from this part in the forehead in our brain. If you want, you could put your hand on your forehead and just kind of wake that up. Hello, forehead. We're going to start imagining and having fun here. So I invite you just to imagine a big gold chain with an anchor on the bottom. And with this chain, we're going to hook it to the back of our spine, the base of our spine. And we're going to use this to ground ourselves into our planet. So just imagine that chain going way, way, way down to the center of the earth. If you can't visualize it, you could just think it. You could tell this chain what to do for you. And just ask this chain to ground into the earth. Set that anchor right down to the center of the planet. And this is really going to help hold you while you're feeling emotions and releasing and giving forgiveness to yourself. If this chain does not resonate with you, just imagine where you are sitting or lying down and the object you're sitting on just going straight down to the center of the planet and grounding you into the planet. Awesome. And feel the comfort of that walk into the earth energy, the really grounding, healing earth energy. And maybe you don't feel anything at all. It's okay if it's not, visualization doesn't click in right away. It's a practice. And taking a deep breath and a nice sigh out. And I invite you to put your attention back on your body. Take it off that golden chain and go back on your body. Tell your body, hello, body. And you can say whatever words you want to say to your body. You could thank your body for meditating, allowing you to meditate, break through any resistance that keeps us from meditating. And just welcome your body. Welcome your body here to this space. Time is just for you right now. So now we're going to get really comfortable getting into our bodies as we're feeling emotions. And we're going to do it slowly, and we're going to start with our feet. And just put your attention on your feet. I invite you just to say hello to your feet, or just feel your feet. How do your feet feel right now? And breathe gently as you do this. And as you put your attention on your feet, I invite you to invite in how you feel about how you have parented your family, your children, or yourself in the past. And being grounded into the planet will help these emotions flow through us and get us stuck in us. Maybe you haven't looked at this before, how you've taken care of yourself or parented your children in the past, or maybe you're parenting right now and you're learning more about parenting and brain connection and body and mind connection and brain development and the importance of emotions and allowing your kiddos to feel safe and nurtured and seen and heard, and allowing them to go through their emotions instead of trying to fix them or soften them or telling them, don't feel that. Just let that energy come forward. And put your attention on your feet again. And now let's move up to our ankles. And just notice your ankles, both ankles, and how your feet and your ankles connect and they take care of you, help you navigate throughout your life. They hold a lot of pain and energy if we don't look at ourselves, and we can store a lot in there. So just allow your feet and ankles to get really nice and heavy. And if there's any tension, you can ask that tension. You can just melt that away, melt that tension away. Allow your feet and ankles to relax. And notice if there's a difference between what you're feeling already, your feet and your ankles but compared to the rest of your body. Are they relaxing a little more? And I invite you to recall a time in parenting yourself or your children, of a time where maybe you weren't very happy with the way you reacted or treated them out of your own fear and discomfort. If it's something you've been carrying around, like a shame energy, maybe parenting without the knowledge of emotionally connected and intelligent skills, or maybe you were advised to have your babies cry through all the night early in life so they get on a sleep schedule. I'm one of those parents. And the more I read about it, I'm like, whoa, I messed up. But I did what I did with the tools I had then, the knowledge I had. So if you have any of that type of shame you're working through, could just say hello to it. Hello, hello, shame. And you can tell that shame you're healing this area of your life right now, and give that shame permission to move out of your body. And you can ask that golden chain you're connected to release shame down, down, down to the center of the planet. Let that energy, that emotion clear out of your space. And the beautiful thing is it goes down to the center of the planet and recycles into neutral energy. So we humans can throw our energies sideways to each other. We don't even know we're doing it. Like kind of dump a problem on a friend and then just leave. And then they have this worry that you passed on to them. But we can release these scary feeling energies like shame or guilt or maybe self-doubt or hatred that gets attached to these, and we can release them out of our space. We're humans, we're not these perfect robots that sometimes we try and make ourselves to be. And let that shame go down, down, down that golden chain. And take in a nice deep breath and release. And now let's move our attention to our calves. In between our ankles and knees. Just put your attention there. And allow any tension to release. Let your calves get really heavy. And continue to release any shame energy, which is like that whole self-doubt, self-hatred, guilt, kind of the shame, kind of it all gets tucked in there. Or if you feel more guilt than shame, let that be your concentration of letting go in your parenting style. And even if you are raising your children with all the knowledge of brain development and the healthy communications and emotional intelligence, we still are human and we still do things out of reactions. We still have activations. I don't think there's a perfect parent out there. So just continue to let that energy go. When we release shame, guilt energy in our space, it relieves our children that we raised. It takes that intergenerational trauma that goes through our family lines. It starts breaking it down and releasing because we're feeling some things that we've been resisting, we don't want to look at in ourselves. But when we feel it, we can face it, kind of, aha, I've done this, or I'm doing this. And also with self-parenting yourself, anything that harmed yourself in the way you took care of yourself, release that guilt and shame. Just let that magic golden chain help you release. And it's going down to the planet. The earth energy is holding you and helping you right now. So you're not alone in these feelings, and you're not alone in the healing. Even if you feel physically alone. I feel the difference in the feet, the ankles, the calves. Let all that energy melt away. And we're going to be going up our entire body, so don't worry about the rest of your body. Now I invite you to go up to your knees and take in a breath. Fill up those lungs and do a cleansing sigh out. You could say hello to your knees, however they are today. Maybe they're relaxed, or maybe you're feeling a little pain. The joints in our body is where we really can store a lot of emotional pain that we don't know what we're storing. We don't know what we're doing there. What's in there, we're not feeling, we're resisting, we don't want to look at things. So all the things we resist kind of go in our body, go down and go in our knees and our ankles and our feet, elbows, hips. So just say hello to those beautiful knees. And say hello to yourself too. Hello, self. You are so brave for looking at this. A lot of the world will not look at themselves and how they participate in our systems that we're trained in, our society systems, our family style systems. And we just keep on pushing it down and participating and getting kind of in a victimhood and repeating pain in our own ways so they don't feel the same as our parent ways. And the more we can accept our pain, our trauma styles, so we could take care of ourselves, the more we release those younger generations from repeating the pain. The best way I can forgive myself and how I parented my kids, like reading and researching and going into intergenerational trauma and things like Mother Hunger, which is a pretty tricky book to read, but it's about healing that pain. Any type of realizations and releasing and looking at like addictions to hide things and looking at how you parented. And for me, getting there when my kids were close to adulthood was, oh, hurt. And it's taken a lot of self-forgiveness. And my best way to help them is to heal myself and to stop participating in that intergenerational trauma that keeps the pain alive, but you don't even know it's there. So instead of resisting and keeping everything in my knees like I used to do, just stuff it back down in the body, don't look at it. Facing being a human, facing how you parented or how you're parenting or how you're taking care of yourself starts releasing. So there's so much energy kind of breaking up in you, and old past is just like kind of going down that golden cord chain. So just say hello to those knees and allow them to get really heavy, almost like melting, melting and just relaxing. And all this releasing is going to help us bring in our forgiveness. So just kind of facing it right now. And now I invite you to bring your attention to your thighs. Say hello to your thighs. Thighs are so important, and we forget about our thighs, and just say hello, thighs. If there's any tension, any pain, just to recognize it. And breathe in and allow any tension to release on your thighs. Let them get really, really heavy. Let them really sink into the object you're sitting on. And I invite you to look at your parenting style right now, today. If the past parenting style keeps popping up, just allow that past to shift out of your space right now, and give you space to look at how you are today as we allow our thighs to relax. If you don't like the way you're parenting today, yourself or your children, it could even be your adult children, just accept that's what your answer is today, and take in a nice deep breath and a cleansing sigh out. And like how the earth turns every single day, it evolves every single day, it keeps spinning no matter what is going on. It could be a giant mess on the planet, but the earth is still going to rotate. It's still going to go through its life. It's not going to get stuck in the mess and stop. Notice where you are today, and you are in your own evolution. And just recognizing where you are today is going to shift any stuck feelings. It's going to help heal that resistance and all those things that come with resisting, and the self-doubt and the self-hate and the stored guilt and the stored shame. Just say hello to where you are today, taking care of yourself, taking care of your children. And it could be the whole package of taking care of yourself and taking care of your children. Just let it be where you are today. If you want to change it, you're on your way to changing it and evolving it. So any of those crunchy feelings, if they're up in you and you're feeling, I just invite you to allow them to soften. You could even talk to them like, what's up, shame? I see you're here. I'm going to ask you to step out of my space for right now and just go down my golden chain. I need some space to heal. And you could do that with guilt. You could do that with self-hatred. Release the hatred. Release all that pain energy so we can have more of a filter of love energy. And just notice your feet to your ankles, to your calves, to your thighs, and getting really relaxed and heavy. And now I invite you to bring your attention to your hips. We store lots of pain and emotions in our hips. That's why body movement so helpful in healing life and recovery of life. It helps shift out these stuck emotions and taking a big deep breath. Just put your attention on your hips. You could say hello, hips. Hips, besides the word hips, are amazing. They help us walk. They hold us up. They help us bend over. Very important part of our body, and we forget about our bodies, especially if we're stuck in pain. So, hello, hips. You might feel softer now feeling your emotions, or it might be really hard right now when you're crying. Maybe you need to be crying is helping you. Tears help heal the body. They're actually a natural antidepressant. The body is designed to help you heal. So let that energy in your hips, any stuck energy, you could just ask that energy to go down, down, down the golden chain, or however you're hooked into the planet. And if you're not hooked into the planet, if you can't get it, just allow that energy to take off out of your space. And I invite you to see if there's a shift in what you're feeling now. Maybe you're feeling more space from releasing any pain from your past. Maybe you're feeling just a tiny bit of space. Maybe you're not feeling any space yet, and this is a practice. It's not a one-time shop, meditate, cure all. That's what I find in the healing emotions in life is you feel it in waves and you're not going to get stuck, but you're also never going to be in this healed destination place being a human. I used to chase that forever. It's just makes life harder, I have found. So let your hips release and give you room to make changes, room to bring in what you want, to bring into your parenting and self-parenting. Maybe you want more kind words in your thoughts instead of those perfectionists beating ourselves up. Why did I do things like this? Why can't I do this? What's wrong with you? You always go back to your stuff to run and numb and all that talk, all that calling yourself names that are very hurtful can shift out of your space when you take time to nurture yourself, to make your body feel safe, to protect yourself, which goes into your parenting when you heal your internal self. Awesome. Taking a nice deep breath for yourself. And a really cleansing sigh out. And now let's go up to our arms. So I invite you to put your attention on your shoulders all the way down to your elbows, your upper arm. And just notice any tension in there and let your arms relax and get heavy. And give them permission to release any stored tension, any stored pain. And as you release, give your body some approval energy for what you're doing. We're taking this time to work on yourself and to find comfort in your body as you're navigating, healing this space, researching this space, kind of expanding yourself. Give your body some encouragement, like you would want to give to your child. You're allowed to talk to yourself this way. You're allowed to approve of yourself. And if it's hard giving that approval to your whole body, maybe just give your upper arms that approval for now. Thank you, upper arms, for doing all you do for me. To slowly get into that self-love talk. You could start with parts on your body, like your feet or your hands or your arms or whatever piece on the body we're working on right now. You don't have to go to a mirror and totally forgive yourself for everything you've done in the past and look in the mirror and go, I love you. That is so uncomfortable to force love, to just go through the motions, all Pollyanna. It's really uncomfortable. So now put your attention on your elbows. And that's another storage place we could store memories or things we don't want to look at or face. Anything we resist goes down in our body for later. But right now you're not doing a later. So you are going in layers and feeling and healing, and just let those elbows just release anything from your space. And you can ask your elbows to relax, release tension, release any regret from the past of things you have done in parenting and parenting yourself. Maybe you abandoned yourself out of the fear and the pain of your past, or trying to be anything but your family will invite in that family pain. But facing it and accepting it, and like we're doing right now, feeling it, and we're healing it and releasing it. Awesome. And now go to your forearms and let those forearms relax, and you could say hello to them, and you're getting used to feeling your body now. And as you feel these parts of your body, you're getting more and more in your body. Slowly allowing yourself to be in your body and feel these feelings. And also feeling that they're fluid and they're shifting and they're moving. You won't be in shame forever on this. And I had a lot of shame in me to go through with the parenting. And the more I research and learn, it was like it would get harder and harder and harder and harder until I started just going, okay, that was the past. And I did the best I could with the tools I had. And I also messed up a lot. Um, but just releasing it. Being like that made me want to get more into my old codependent ways and run back and save my kids and send them all the books I'm reading and da 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 da. And I tried that for a little bit, and your kids push away. They especially in their 20s are like, get away from me. And then the more I get into my body and forgive myself, the more we become connected again, and the more I see their growth and their own healings happen. So just let that go. And my self-parenting kicks in now, how to take care of myself. Like that oxygen mask on the plane. If you save your children first, you might go, then who's going to be with them? But if you could take care of yourself and nurture yourself internally and forgive yourself for being a human and learn how to bring in love and not be terrified of the truth, of your truth, really changes this game. So bring your attention to your hands, your beautiful, beautiful healing hands. This is the place where I first began self-love, was connecting with my hands. Because you see your hands often. You see your hands when you're driving. You use your hands to feed yourself. You use your hands to work and create. And we totally forget about our hands. You can make music, art, bunch of, you touch other humans with your hands, and there's just so much in them, and our muscles and our bones, and there's just healing energy in our hands. There's such a creative space in our human body, and just say hello to your hands. You could even practice and say, I love you, hands. You are so awesome and badass. Here, it's a good doorway into self-love and forgiveness. And just let your hands totally relax, release any tension and just any grips. Let them relax. Beautiful. Beautiful. Now we're going to move on to our whole torso, from our hips to our shoulders. This very important space in our body, which we can shame this part of our body. I'm a past torso shamer. So take in a deep breath, and I invite you to put your attention on your whole entire torso. And just accept your torso, how you are now, on the outside appearance and the inside appearance. Maybe you're healing an illness. Maybe you're judging yourself. Just let your middle be your middle, your human middle. And any of those judgments or any type of shame, just let that go down that golden chain and give yourself room to feel yourself. And taking a big, deep breath. Fill up those lungs, those beautiful, beautiful, beautiful lungs. I never really paid attention to my lungs until I got lung cancer and healed lung cancer. And now I'm just fascinated with lungs, and just let that energy, that oxygen fill in and go down, down, down to the bottom of those lungs. Instead of breathing short, like to the top of your heart, really fill them up. That is such a powerful healing tool. Just continue to breathe easy. And I invite you to imagine yourself in front of you, as a parent that you want to be. And this can change, like how you are right now. It might change tomorrow or the next day, but right now, today, how do you want to treat yourself? How do you want to treat your children? And it doesn't have to be like images of how you're treating them, but just the appearance of you. Do you want to look calm and grounded and connected? If you see yourself and you look stressed and overwhelmed, just allow that to move through you, because you might be in a big overwhelming situation right now. But allow the fluidness of the stress of parenting, the stress of taking care of yourself. Just allow that to release out of that whole entire torso area. And just allow your whole middle just to get really relaxed and heavy. And if you can't picture yourself as how you want to be as a parent to yourself or your children, that's okay. That's okay. You might get some thoughts on how you want to be, or maybe after this, you maybe want to journal on what type of parent do I want to be to myself or to my children? What do I want to learn? How do I want to expand? How do I want to give them room to be themselves? How not to smother them and tell them how to feel, how not to block them from their experiences, but how to protect them and have boundaries with them and hold them accountable and hold yourself accountable and keep everybody safe and let more joy and love in and room to be humans, room for your children to vocalize their emotions, room for your teens to get rebellious to you because they're letting go of you. Just let it all come into your space to how do you want to be? And it takes practice to get there. Not like you're going to instantly turn into this ideal parent. That's the recipe for disaster. And I laugh because I know I tried to be an ideal parent and I kind of flustered in that. Yeah. So just allow all that, just notice it and observe it. And if you're done looking at that ideal parent, you could just ask the ideal parent to move out of your space. It's something you could come back to and work on and play with. Or maybe it's more like the dream parent. Ideal is a big title. I don't like that. So what's your dream parent? Give yourself some grace to not be perfect. Awesome. Okay, and now we're going to move up to our neck and our throat area. So I invite you just to bring your attention to your neck and your throat. There's a lot of tension in here too. There can be. And we could get locked up and block how we want to talk, how we want to talk to people. I have a lot of healing that I'm doing on, like, saying I love you is it wasn't a big practice in my household. And so it's really, I get a little shaky when I say it because I'm still getting used to it. I've been working on this for like years, but it's just something that you know, it's just, if you say it and it's not feeling true, it just feels weird and it blocks your throat. But as you release and you let things out, the word love and I love you, and you could say to your body, I love you, and you could say to your kids, I love you. I know sometimes when I'm talking to my kids and I say, I love you, I feel that clench. And it's just old trauma activations that come up for me. And I know what it is. I used to think I was a bad, horrible person because I couldn't use those words. But Now I just know it's just the programming and the body and the way we were raised and the way society, and you try and be all tough and it's just something you work through. And the more forgiveness and the more I work, I have more space with my throat. So you can just allow your neck and your throat to relax. And you get to have this space back. You get to have your body space back. This really is helpful practice with parenting and talking to yourself. So just enjoy that whole amazing neck that holds our head on our body. Just blows my mind when I look at it. I used to just look at my neck like I have the extra thing here on my chin. I used to judge that spot, but you know what? I don't judge that anymore. Sometimes if I catch myself, I'll just reel on back. That's like a society thing. That's the whole body image thing. And just go on back. So just load your neck and let it relax and let it get really heavy. Let it release. Let it begin to forgive. Let yourself own your throat and neck space. And you could take in a breath, and we're going up to our head, our final space before we start bringing in our forgiveness. This is going to end with the good treats for us, intentions. And so if you're feeling uneasy and pain, we're not going to stay there. It's fluid, it'll move through you. So now I invite you to bring your attention to your head, your whole entire head. You have your ears and your nose and your mouth and all your sinuses and your eyes, your hair, or maybe you don't have hair on your head anymore. And then also in here, we have our mind, a very important part of our whole human body system. And this work really heals that mind space, really softens it. And just imagine your mind totally relaxing. Your whole brain just going, taking a break, letting it all go down. We could give our minds a break by not jumping on that rumination and that self-criticism or overthinking thoughts or trying to fix everything or making everything perfect. You could just release that. Let your brain take a break. When we do that, ruminating, worrying, fear-based, constant in our minds, we disconnect our mind from our body. But as we get back in our body here and learn to give ourselves space and room to release and forgive, we start connecting again. We start getting our intuition, our guts, the healthy things we want to come out of our throat, the healthy ways we want to communicate, the connected ways, the understanding ways, the compassionate ways, the graceful ways. So hello, entire head. Just say hello to your entire head. And if you've never said hello to your head before, you could tell your head, it's so nice to say hello to you and connect with you. I didn't know I could do this. It's pretty amazing. I just continue to release any last bits of shame or grief or guilt or self-doubt, self-hatred. Let any of that, any remainder that you could feel in your body, just give that emotion. It's not the truth, it's an emotion. Let it release. It doesn't mean you're never going to feel it again. It's just you're giving your body space. So if it ever comes back, you just can do a practice, this practice or something else that helps you release. Beautiful. And now let's put our attention on our whole entire body. From the top of our head, the crown, our higher self, our connection, our intuition, connections, and from the top of your head all the way down to your toes and all the way down your arms to your hands. Just put your whole entire attention on your body. And imagine how you're connected to the earth. And the earth has a lot of mothering energy to it, a lot of healing and protection and grounding and nurturing and just nutritious energy that comes from our earth. Imagine that energy just holding you like you are your little baby and you're just holding yourself in that energy. You're allowed to give yourself the love that you give a baby or your children. Even if you didn't know this for a very long time. You are allowed to nurture yourself. You're allowed to protect yourself. You're allowed to soothe yourself. Like this meditation is a self-soothing practice. You're allowed to have access to this. Even if other people don't approve of you, you can approve of yourself. So just allow that and picture your whole entire body and be in your whole entire body if that is comfortable for you. If you're not comfortable getting this connected with your body yet, you could just practice it. It's very uncomfortable in the beginning. I know this. When you start to heal and take care of yourself and learn about yourself and look at yourself, it's not the most comfortable thing. I think that's why there's I believe the numbers are like 50% of parenting relationships are connected. It could be less. I read that someplace. I don't know the for sure number, but just know that you're doing this and this is going to give you a lot of freedom. Then I want you to put your attention to your heart if that resonates with you. And you could do this by putting your hand on your physical heart. You could feel the heartbeat. And how often do we forget about our hearts? Say hello to our heart until there's something wrong. Then we're like, oh no. So just feel that heart. Put your hand on your heart. This is your physical heart, and it's also your energetic heart. And I invite you to ask your heart to pump the energy of forgiveness all through your body. Just let it go beat through your heart and all through your blood and your veins and going all through your body, all through the organs, through the bones, through the blood, through the skin, and let that forgiveness energy just pump all through you and going out of your skin. Let it surround you internally and externally. Just let that forgiveness come in and breathe gently. And just notice your body as you're intentionally forgiving yourself for how you parented or how you're parenting your children or yourself. And feel that forgiveness. And allow the forgiveness, even if you can't feel it, just allow, just even just a tiny bit. You don't have to forgive yourself in one day. And the forgiveness helps push out pain. It helps push out shame. And now let's do one more intention before we wrap this up. Let's give our heart one more job for this practice. And let's bring in an intention that you want to add to the forgiveness. What do you want to give yourself? What is something that's maybe kind of tricky giving to yourself? It could be self-love. It could be love. It could be love in general. It could be for yourself or others. Sometimes we get really blocked where we can't even really connect and truly love. And if you have another energy, just if I say love, just use your word. Maybe you want some security in your self to help release fear, or maybe you want some joy, or maybe you need some more concentration to work, some focus. It really could be anything. Love covers many, many things. So I'm going to use that word now. But allow your heart, invite your heart to fill up with love energy, and allow that to pump through your whole entire body like we did forgiveness. Bodies love the connection. See if you notice a difference in your body, the whole structure of your body. Is it more relaxed? Is it more accepting? Is it going to give you a little bit more space to heal yourself? So just let that love pump through your body. If you haven't done a lot of self-care work tools along with whatever it is you're working on in your life, and it feels like what is this love stuff is not, I can't even feel it. Just allow it to pump through, even if you can't even feel it today. And practice it. It takes baby steps to accept love in the body. If you were more of a fear-based type family system, or self-doubt type family system, or you always have that, like, I'm not good enough to be here, I can't do this, I can't, that takes a little bit of time to work through that. And if you just ask the love to pump through your body, if you're feeling it or not, just allow yourself to have a little bit. I know feeling that love took some time for me, like actual love. I mean, I've loved things. I've loved my former partners. I love my children, my family, my pets, but I've never really allowed myself to love, like let go love and trust love, and not worry about them leaving or worried about me doing something wrong, or it was just more of a conditional type of love. And I know now in my healing, I'm single right now, but I have my kitty who I've always loved, but now I'm feeling this really cool connection. Like, I'm like, whoa, that is love. That is just, it's like there's no parameters, there's no judgment. It's just like such a joy to see this guy and go out, and he likes to go on adventurous walks. He's a pretty crazy cat. Um, to allow myself to hold that is a indication to me that I am healing, and I could start bringing that to others. I could really allow myself to love my children without going, what the hell am I doing wrong? Excuse that little H-bomb. But just know that if you're not feeling connected and you're not feeling love, I totally get that, and you are not alone. And every human body has a right to heal itself, to feel the love, because we are relationship creatures. We are not meant to be alone. We are meant to feel love. We're also meant to feel fear because that's part of the human body, but we're not meant to be in fear mode constantly. It's the balance. So just let your body feel that love and let that energy radiate outside of your skin and like swaddling you in a security blanket of love. Amazing. Amazing. And just breathe. And then we're going to do a few breaths to come back into the room we're in now and get back into our life. So taking a breath and wiggle your toes. And exhale. And taking a breath and wiggle your fingers. And exhale. And taking a breath and put your whole entire attention on your whole torso. Everything working in there, all those organs taking care of you and keeping you alive. And then exhale. And bring your attention to your head, and you could pop your eyes open and taking a breath. And exhale. And now put your entire attention on your whole entire body and breathe in. And exhale and stretch your arms, and you could take your beautiful arms and wrap them around and give yourself a hug. Bear hug and release. Awesome. And this is something you could do while you're doing work of healing your past, healing your parenting, healing intergenerational trauma, to any type of recovery, healing how you take care of yourself. So I commend you for doing this work. This is huge work, and it's really hard to get to. There's a lot of resistance in it. So you taking this time to really heal yourself is so beneficial. It is so beneficial to you. It is so important to you and yourself and your parenting and your children. And doing this work really helps our healing of our collective healing on the planet. It really, really helps a lot. So knowing that too, if you're a person like I wanted to save everything, I didn't know that healing myself is a huge healing tool on this planet. So really, thank you for taking care of yourself. Thank you for being brave and getting in here. Thank you for wanting to make your life experience better for you and your children. So thank you very much. I am honored that you are here in this space. And if you like this meditation, you could leave a comment on what it does for you. If you don't like it, you could leave a comment. And if you want, you can subscribe to this channel, because apparently it gets more meditations out there, and however that computer system works, which I'm still learning about. So thank you very much, and I will see you next time.